Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Hafiz Marzukhi. The proposed amendment to the Federal Constitution on citizenship laws was tabled for the first reading in the Dewan Rakyat today. Among the proposed amendments, the bill seeks to grant equal rights to children born overseas to Malaysian mothers. Prior to the amendment, a child born overseas would only acquire citizenship automatically if the father was a Malaysian citizen.
Other amendments include a revision to Clause 2 of Article 15 of the Federal Constitution to lower the age limit for applying for citizenship from 21 to 18, in line with the voting age in Malaysia. It also seeks to amend Part 2 of the second schedule of the Federal Constitution to specify that only a child born in Malaysia, where at least one parent is a citizen at the time of the child's birth, is eligible for citizenship. With this proposed amendment, a child born in Malaysia, where at least one parent is a permanent resident of Malaysia at the time of birth, will no longer be eligible for citizenship. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said that while the government had dropped the proposed constitutional amendment to remove automatic citizenship for foundlings, he could not rule out future administrations reviving the amendment.
The current hot and dry weather in Malaysia is expected to subside beginning next month. This will coincide with the start of the monsoon transition period in April, where more rainfall is forecast.
Makrum Fazli Muhammad Fahmi, Director of the National Meteorological and Geophysical Operations Centre, said the transition period occurred during a shift in wind direction from the northeast monsoon to the southwest monsoon. He added that wind patterns usually brought thunderstorm activity in the late afternoon. Meanwhile, Malaysia recorded one case of death due to heat stroke involving a 22-year-old man. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the death occurred in Maran, Pahang on February 2nd. The Rural and Regional Development Minister said cloud seeding would be carried out by the National Disaster Management Agency and Malaysian Armed Forces to combat the hot weather.
The National Service Training Programme, or PLKN 3.0, will not be confined to school students only. Deputy Defence Minister Adli Zahari says youth in high schools and universities, as well as those who are not pursuing tertiary education, will be eligible to join the program.
Kalau kita lihat kepada modul-modul kita ini, dan saya fikir bila kita muktamadkan nanti, latihan-latihan ini bukan sahaja melibatkan pelajar di peringkat menengah itu, dan dia juga melibatkan pelajar-pelajar yang memasuki universiti maupun tidak memasuki universiti itu. Sebab itu kalau kita lihat kita ada tempoh masa dan tempoh tahap umurnya bagi memastikan bahawa program ini dapat kita laksanakan sebaik mungkin.
PLKN 3.0 is slated to begin next year and scheduled to last for 45 days.
Over 2 out of 3 abandoned housing projects nationwide involve houses that cost below 300,000 ringgit. As of January 31st, the Housing and Local Government Ministry has recorded 117 abandoned projects, with 81 projects involving units priced 300,000 ringgit and below.
Deputy Minister Dato' Aiman Atira Sabu said the 81 projects involved 23,031 houses of a total of 30,840 units of houses from abandoned projects overall. Meanwhile, 13 projects fall within the price range of 301,000 to 500,000 ringgit, 5 projects at a price range of 500,001 ringgit to 750,000 ringgit, 2 projects between 750 and 1,000 to 1 million ringgit, and 16 projects for houses worth 1 million ringgit and above. Among the factors causing the surplus of unsold completed houses is the COVID-19 pandemic, which affected economic growth, buyers' capability, and the housing industry. Other factors include projects in non-strategic areas without good facilities and buyers being denied bank loans.
We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
Penatnya, terbang sana, terbang sini. Inilah antara sebabnya aku terlepas nak tengok rancangan kegemaran aku. Tapi apa dah hal? Dengan adanya Astro Go, balik je daripada kerja, aku boleh stream bila-bila masa, di mana jua.
Sekejap, Tarmim!
Aduh, dia ni memekak ajalah. Stream tempat lain lah. Aman sikit.
Saudara, sekejap.
Muat turun aplikasi Astro Go sekarang. Percuma untuk pelanggan Astro.
222 wakil rakyat melontar hujah suara rakyat, bergema di bangunan keramat demi amanah juga mandat. Ikuti liputan inklusif sidang parlimen bersama
saya, Umawati Ramaya.
Saya, Hasimi Muhammad.
Dan saya, Idaudin Daud.
hanya di Astro AWANI.
5 lelaki penghantar makanan didakwa di Mahkamah Magistrate Bangi atas tuduhan membunuh seorang pemandu kereta lelaki dalam satu kejadian.
4 sungai di sekitar kawasan perindustrian Pasir Gudang di Johor termasuk Sungai Kim Kim didapati tercemar dan berada pada tahap yang membimbangkan. Kerajaan sudah mulakan inisiatif untuk menggantikan kenderaan operasinya kepada kenderaan elektrik EV dalam skala kecil terlebih dahulu.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim is confident that the Malaysian economy will achieve stronger growth between 4 to 5% in 2024.
Among Palestine's top 2 officials were jointly charged with 161 counts of money laundering, criminal breach of trust and cheating. Malaysia will experience drier and hotter weather due to prolonged lack of rain in the final phase of the northeast monsoon.
Family or career is a choice that many women face as they navigate the challenges of balancing their professional and personal lives, with the burden of care still largely falling on women. Research analyst Sakinah Alzian of the Social and Economic Research Initiative, or SERI, discusses a recent study on how this choice affects women in Malaysia and the implications for the talent pipeline.
They are the pressure to choose a job based on family or community expectations, and the pressure to prioritize family over career. So this means that when finding a job, women have to try to fulfill what their family expects of them, or in another case whereby they have to forego their career in order to choose their family. And unfortunately, this is also true across all ethnic groups in Malaysia, whereby all women, regardless of their ethnicity in Malaysia, face some sort of familial pressure. And when we asked our respondents, why did they face a career delay, a lot of them answered that they had to take care of their family. Despite the misconception that family obligations solely hinder women's career progression, our study actually revealed that family often serves also as a crucial support system for women when pursuing their professional goals. So it's not a black and white situation here.
Despite progress made, the study shows that women still face gender discrimination, especially those working in male-dominated sectors.
One of the most prevalent issues that were reported among our respondents were biases in hiring practices, whereby a lot of our respondents expressed that their employers are more likely to hire male candidates over female candidates. For example, one of them stated that due to the nature of the field, the employers are more likely to hire men over women. But other than that, women in this field often find themselves subjected to invasive inquiries as well regarding their marital and pregnancy status during job interviews. And for example, one of our respondents has stated that when they were in a job interview once, the employer would ask them, are they pregnant? Are they planning to get pregnant in the future? Are they married? So this kind of question not only violates women's privacy, but it also raises concerns about potential discrimination based on women's gender and family status.
The study also found that women are typically active in the workforce in their 20s, after which many of them take on the burden of unpaid care work. Sakinah discusses the impact of traditional gender roles on women's career progression.
Gender roles don't just hurt women, they also hurt men. It's harmful to think that men don't value family as much as women. It's just that gender role pushes men to be breadwinners and thus contained to the workplace instead of them also wanting to care for their families. So, for example, there's this report by McKinsey and Company last year were to underscore that there is a universal need for flexibility because roughly 60% of men are actively taking steps to prioritize their personal lives. So it's imperative for us then to recognize that the pursuit of balancing work and family extends beyond simply being a woman's issue. It is an everyone's concern. So in order for us to challenge traditional gender norms, I believe that we need to have a paradigm shift in how we see the problem. Women and men should not have to make an exclusive choice between their career and their family. They should not be defined by their caregiver roles or breadwinner roles, but instead the work has to be shared among everyone in society, in the family. I believe that the overarching issue still lies in the lack of adequate system and structures that are in place to facilitate both men and women to balance this effectively.
Now to international news. A court in Moscow charged 4 suspects over a mass attack on the Crocus City concert hall on Friday, which left more than 130 people dead. The gunmen were officially identified as citizens of Tajikistan and were remanded in custody for 2 months.
Russia lowered flags to half-mast and declared Sunday a national day of mourning after what was the deadliest attack inside Russia for 2 decades. The attackers had fired their automatic weapons in short bursts at civilians, killing 137 people, including 3 children, and wounding 182. More than 100 people remained in hospital, some in serious condition. Meanwhile, Islamic State released new footage of the attack on Sunday and claimed responsibility. Russia, however, has sought to pin the blame on Ukraine, which Kiev has denied.
In Singapore, former Transport Minister S. Iswaran has been slapped with 8 additional charges in court today, bringing the total number of charges against him to 35. In January, Iswaran was handed 27 charges, including corruption, which he pleaded not guilty to.
The 8 new charges come under Section 165 of the Penal Code, which makes it an offence for public servants to obtain valuable items from someone involved with them in an official capacity. Iswaran is accused of obtaining items such as bottles of whiskey, golf clubs and a Brompton bicycle from a man named Lam Kok Seng, who is listed online as the managing director of Lam Chang Holdings. It is the parent company of Lam Chang Building Contractors, which won a contract in 2016 for works at Tanah Merah MRT station. Although Iswaran became Transport Minister only in 2021, charge sheets stated that he knew about Lam's business connections to his ministerial role when the offences allegedly occurred between November 2021 and November 2022. The 61-year-old pleaded not guilty as well to the new charges.
Over in South Korea, medical professors have submitted their resignations en masse today. They say this is in support of a strike by young doctors against a government plan to boost medical school admissions.
Kim Chang-soo, president of the Medical Professors Association of Korea, said increasing medical school admissions would ruin medical school education and cause the country's healthcare system to collapse. He added that some professors would also start scaling back outpatient treatment to focus on emergency and severely ill patients. Trainee doctors in South Korea have been on strike since February 20th, forcing several hospitals to turn away patients and delay procedures. The government said its plan was vital to address the shortage of doctors in one of the world's fastest aging societies, but doctors are urging them to improve their working conditions first.
Now that wraps up AWANI Tonight. I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Thanks for watching and good night.
Ini healing, Mak. Ini program saya, ini healing, Mak.
Perbualan santai dan healing bersama Zizan Raza.
Salam tahu. Astaghfirullahalazim. Mencurah rasa hati, mencurah apa yang abang rasa.
Apa yang datang sekarang kita lalui dengan tenang. Hubungan kita dengan anak walaupun sekali berlaku pun anak tak anak.
I tak anai orang. Kalau I nak cakap, I cakap terus, I cakap nama sekali.
Bersama ramai lagi tetamu yang akan hadir dalam Healing with Zizan di Astro dan On Demand.